Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Clutch Talk podcast / YouTube / We Do It All. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. Let me check in with my guy over there in the six, my dog Jay Hizzle. How you doing, dog?
Doing great, Jay. Ready to talk about ball as usual, man. A hectic week here too. So let's get right into it, though.
Let's get straight into it, my brother, man. And just real quick, man, for all the fans, wherever you guys are listening, whether you guys are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of those podcast platforms, make sure you rank our podcast. Leave us a nice little review about what you like most about the pod. And that's it, man. Let's get straight into it. Like we over here at Clutch Talk, we don't like to waste too much time. We like to get into the hoop talk. So let's get into it, my brother. We're going to start with the up or down games, like how we've been doing recently for these episodes. And I got a banger to start it out, Jay. So I need your opinion on this one, man. I mean, let's kick it off. I mean, first, we've seen the Kings just continue to struggle, whether coaching change or the roster change, no matter what it is. Just one of the most struggling franchises, and it's really starting to get me to the point of thinking: should the Kings trade De'Aaron Fox and really pivot and go a different direction? Are you up or down on that, Jay?
I really don't think they're gonna get much back in return for him. Just in the value that he's at, I don't think teams may value him as much as he is to the Kings. Just like similar to a lot of players on a lot of teams, is he may be more valuable to a team and what they need, and then you ship him over, and the team who values is less isn't going to give him the return that they need or they desire. So I think that's a similar situation we see with D Fox. And I will add, they got a big win last night against the Lakers. So that might have a little bit to say with them and feeling a little more confident. And he had a great performance as well. So that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Jay. He is one of those players where he has a lot more value on the Kings than he has on other teams, and especially right now, if the Kings were to ship him off, it'd be a little tough because he's actually at a career low right now in all of his categories that. Since he's been De'Aaron Fox, not since his rookie year. If you go on, Basketball Reference, you'll see, his rookie year, he was a little bit worse. But since he's been De'Aaron Fox, the guy that we know, the fastest point guard in the league, he's having career lows in his points category, his assist category, his rebound category, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, and field goal percentage, man. So it's just not looking not looking too good for the swiper over there, man. But I have to side though, brother.
Hey,
The Kings, what's up? Talk to me.
yeah, no, Jay. So I just got to ask you. I mean, for those of fans who don't know, Jay has De'Aaron Fox on his team, his fantasy team. So how you feeling specifically? Not about that question though, but how you feeling about his performance this far and his production? And do you see him picking it up? Because I mean, I think last night's a good start of if they use him correctly and they put him. Alvin Gentry puts him in the right positions to be successful. I think he's going to improve, in my opinion. But how are you feeling about it, Jay?
Absolutely, Jay. Yeah, unfortunately, I do have him on my fantasy, and yeah, absolutely, Jay. I think that Alvin Gentry, that's a great start. From switching from Luke Walton to Alvin Gentry, and just to be able to utilize him in a different way is going to do wonders for his game, man. But I also think he's just going through a real shooting slump, man. I mean, we've never seen him shoot under 30% in his career, but right now shooting 25% from three, which is absolutely terrible, man. And for a point guard in today's league, we talk about so much how point guards today's league have to at least have a respectable shot. So the defenders got to get out there, man. But I really do think De'Aaron's going to have a turnaround because he is such a focal point of that team. And, as basketball players, we know what's the number one way to get out of slumps. Just got to keep shooting that thing until you find it. And I think that he'll keep shooting it. It's going to take him a while, man. But I think with this underperformance of his, it's just going to lead to another devastating year. The Kings missing the playoffs, man. So for De'Aaron, him personally, I think he'll be able to figure it out. But I don't think that the Kings are going to be able to figure it out within time to flip this around, man. But all right, yeah. Jay. All right. So you got anything else you want to add to that?
And I think it's more so in his case and a lot of players' cases. A lot of people say keep shooting, and I agree with that. but it's also taking good shots. So if you're in a position to take good shots, then you'll be more successful. Even if you're missing those shots, being in the position where you're taking good shots, they just have a higher chance of going in. Great shots versus good shots, I should say, even great shots. Like that's what you want to be taking, great shots rather than good shots. So yeah.
Yep. How does that phrase go, Jay? It's like better, best, greatest, or something like that,
Yeah,
right? You want to look for the greatest shot.
Greatest shot you can get. Yep. And you'll see your numbers will follow in that case. Yeah.
Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely. All right, Jay. So then let's move on to our next up or down question. Jay, we seen the beginning of the season. Damian Lillard, your guy, really struggling, getting off to a real rocky start. As a matter of fact, both me and you said that he's been the most disappointing player this year, but the last 10 games, that has not been the case, man. He's averaging 26 points per game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, shooting 38% from three, 45% from the field, and 94% from the free throw line. Justin Hill, my guy, are you up or down on Damian Lillard being back? Is Dame time back, or is just a short stint?
I think he never left, so I think he's certainly back, but when I watch this game, though, it definitely isn't the same Dame. I mean, he looks a step slower, especially seeing last night's game against the Warriors. He looked a step slow, and I've been seeing it also, just not against them, just previous games where he isn't looking like that same explosion, that same, this sidestep, his patented sidestep move, his step back, just overall, just getting to the lane. He seems to be lacking that quickness that he usually always has. And I think maybe it's due to his, it's abdominal injury that he got in the summer. And we keep going back to that, but it's definitely not the same Dame, but I don't think he's ever left. And he just has to get more creative maybe. And the way he finds the scores are moving, creating less on the ball and looking for shots off the ball, moving, getting other guys involved, and then finding a way to score there. But I think he never left, so he definitely is back, and that's closer to the Dame we're all used to seeing. But how are you feeling on Mr. Dollar?
I'm Mr. Dollar, man. Honestly, Jay, I mean, the way we were saying him play these past couple of years to just set our standards so high. And I think that it's hard for any human, any NBA player, whatever, to be able to meet that every year after year after year. So, I think he had, a bit of a drop off at the beginning of the year. That's pretty clear. You can see the numbers, but if I have to answer the question, I think he's back, man. I think he's feeling it. He's feeling his shots. I would agree, though. We don't see that same grit and that same intensity that we've been seeing in Dame these past couple of seasons. But I think once a shooter finds a shot, once a shooter gets going, man, it's deadly, especially in such a great shooter like Dame, man. So for me, I would say I'm up, man. I'm up because I think Damian Lillard, that Dame Dollar boy, is back, man.
Dame Dollar,
man.
Yeah,
all right, man. All
I
right,
agree.
sure.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's keep it pushing then, Jay. Next question that we got here. So, Jay, I don't know if you've seen, but on the Denver Post, they came out with an article saying that MPJ has some nerve damage in his back and may miss more time, potentially even the rest of the season. So with MPJ missing, more time, with Jokic just sat his 4th games in a row last night with his wrist injury. Jamal Murray still out. PJ Dozier just recently tore his ACL. Are you up or down on the Nuggets finishing as a top 6 seed in the West and avoiding that playing situation?
Yeah, I think just in terms of what the Nuggets, despite all their injuries, I think they're just an extremely deep team. And not only that, I think they're just extremely well coached. They have been, they will be. They always have that next man up approach, which any contending team has. And I just believe in Mike Malone as a coach, the system he's implemented, the confidence that guys at the end of the bench have to step in, be the best version of themselves in their role, the role they're called on. So I'm not really too worried about Nuggets. And Jokic will eventually be back too. And I think as long as you got the Joker, you're good, in my opinion, Jay. And I know he's on your squad too. Another member of the Clutch Talk fantasy ball team. So how you feeling about it, Jay?
Honestly, as far as the fantasy wise, I'm pissed off because he's missed the last 4 games, and he's such a vital player. But Jay, I actually got to swerve on this one, man. I'm actually down on the Nuggets finishing as a top 6 because they're just doing having so many injuries and dealing with so many injuries, and not only is is it just the injuries? It's that when these players come back, they still have to mesh. They still have to figure out how this works. I mean, last year we saw Jamal Murray, being maybe not the focal point, but a very important part of the team. And now this season, they've had to kind of figure out how to get that going without him, and then now to bring him back, relatively soon, whenever MPJ comes back, if he comes back this season, and if he doesn't come back, between MPJ and Jeff Green, I like Jeff Green, that's an OG, but that's a big drop off in talent. It's a big drop off in an offense, especially, man. And my biggest reason why I'm down, Jay, is because I just, I like Aaron Gordon. I like him as a role player, but I'm just having a hard time seeing Aaron Gordon being a serious, for real, number one or number two option on any team that's trying to make a deep playoff push, man. We've seen that in the last 6 games. Right now, the Nuggets are on a 6-game losing streak, and that's because they've been missing so many of these important players. So I don't know, man. I think this year there's a couple of teams that slide up, and the Nuggets end up sliding down this year, Jay.
Yeah, Jay, but if for you, my question in return is like, if Jokic, obviously we've seen with AG in Orlando, he can't be that 1 or 2 option. But I'm saying if you get the Joker back and he's in that lineup, you still have them not making the playoffs. Like you have them in a play-in game, I should say, to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I would have realistically have him, I think, around that 7th or 8th seed. And I know it sounds crazy, man. I know it sounds crazy, but I just think the West is looking good this year, man. The West I feel like a lot of teams are going to end up sliding up, and the Nuggets are going to end up sliding down. Like I think here, let me run through the Western Conference standings currently right now. Okay, I don't have them beating the Warriors out. I don't have them beating the Suns out. I definitely don't have them beating the Jazz out. The Mavericks. I mean,
I'll talk about them beating.
Mavericks?
Okay. I can see them getting past the Mavericks. Yeah.
Okay. What about the Clippers?
The Clippers could also see it, and the Blazers for sure. Lakers don't see it. Actually, maybe. I think there's about 4 teams there that it's hanging in the balance there. I don't see them beating out the Clippers. The Blazers, Mavericks, Lakers could see it, and then now we don't know the health of Ja, so definitely could see the Nuggets moving ahead of them. So even with Ja, I think I'd have the Nuggets with a healthy Joker ahead of them.
Wow. Okay, but just a healthy Joker, not a healthy Nuggets team. So no MPJ, no Jamal Murray, just Jokic. You still got him above those teams?
Yeah, I mean, no. Okay. I don't think just you insert Nikola Jokic into that lineup for the Nuggets. He just changes the whole outlook of that roster. I think MPJ, he wasn't even too efficient and successful, and he wasn't having the greatest start to his season. Whether it was his back or whatever you want to call it, he wasn't having a great start to this season, and I just hope he gets healthy in this case. Because, I mean, he's had his back issues. I think he's had 2 surgeries, potentially looking at 3. Man, that's not a great start, especially if you're the Nuggets with that contract, Jay. Oh, my goodness, just paid in that bag. And he's potentially looking to be out. But no, I think to answer your question, without those 2, Jamal and MPJ, I still have them ahead of the Grizzlies.
Okay. All right, Jay. I respect it, man. So all right, so we like we just said, we just saw the 6-game losing streak by the Denver Nuggets. Let's jump to the other side and let's talk about the impressive 15-game winning streak by the Phoenix Suns. Last episode, we did a bonus episode with my brother, man. Shout out Junior. We were on here. Shout out Junior, JR. We were on here talking a little bit of Suns, and this is when the Suns were on a 13-game winning streak. And I had asked Junior, will they be able to get to a 15-game win streak? He was strong on yes, man. So, and he was right. They are now sitting at a 15-game win streak. So, Jay, I now flip the question to you. Will they be able to get to a 20-game win streak? Will they be able to secure these next 5 games? I got them pulled up here for you. They have the Nets. They're playing the Nets today. And then they have the Warriors after. Then they have the Pistons. Then they have another game with the Warriors. Then they have that 20th game against these San Antonio Spurs. Do you think they'll be able to stretch it to 20? If not, then how many?
Absolutely not. I think they're
Ooh.
playing the next no, John, the next three games they have. Number one tonight against when we're recording this on the 27th, um, of November. They got Brooklyn tonight, which is going to be a tough opponent. I don't care whatever you want to call it. You got anytime you're going up against KD and James Harden, that's a tough game. Then you got the team with the best record in the Golden State Warriors. You're going against up them twice. You may get them once, but I don't see them beating them back to back. I think Kerr, just Draymond, all those guys, you're not beating them twice. And then I just think those next three games, I don't see them going 3-0 and that. And then to end that, they're gonna win against, I think, them beating the Pistons and the Spurs. But it's those three games that really kind of worries me for the Suns.
Okay, so just a quick bounce back. You think that they'll lose it to the Nets tonight, or you think they'll lose it to the Warriors on the first night, the second night, or when you which ones do you think they'll get? Which ones do you think they'll drop? When does the streak end?
I'm saying they're losing tonight against the Nets.
Ooh, so it
I'm,
ends
I'm
out.
t- I
Okay,
end
ends
tonight.
tonight.
I end
Okay.
tonight. KD's gonna be up for that. We know what he does in closeout games and cut in big games. I think he missed his opportunity against the Warriors, and I think he's hungry. He's gonna be even hungrier against the Suns, who are the class of the league right now. So I think KD's gonna have something to prove tonight. So I got the Nets in that one tonight.
Okay. All right. I like it. I
Let's
like
see
it,
if we'll
brother.
see if you're right, man. Jay, we gonna
Let's
see
see.
if I get it. But what do you think? How do you even feel on it?
So I mean, 20, I don't think so. I'm down on 20. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that they're going to be able to get the next 5 games because the same
Mm-hmm.
thing you said. They have a very tough schedule for
Mm-hmm.
these next five. I mean, out of the 5 games, 3 are against the number 1 seed in either the West or the East, being the
Mm-hmm.
Warriors and the Nets. So I don't think that they'll be able to do that. But I do think they'll be able to pull out the victory tonight, and they'll be able to get it from the Nets. And I think and then they have the Warriors game until next Tuesday. So I think that they'll have some momentum. They'll be rolling. They'll be feeling good, man. And I think they'll be able to pull off that first game against the Warriors. But like how we said, Jay, we always talk about NBA teams. If they make a mistake on one night, they do not make it again the second time. And I know for a fact, the Warriors are not only ready for that, they see the Suns coming up, they see the Suns streak, but they're also a great defense, great offense, just a great team this year, man. And I just don't think that they are going to go for that. But agreed, I think they'll be able to take the Pistons and Spurs. But to answer your question, to me, I think they'll get Nets, Warriors, so they'll be at 17, and then it'll be over when they meet the Warriors again, man. It'll be over.
Yeah, yeah. No, don't sleep on my boy Isaiah Stewart over there on the Pistons.
Oh yeah. I gotta watch out.
He's a bull in the
Watch out
China
for the MMA fighter.
Hey, yeah. But hey, no. Speaking of that, man. Hey, is it tomorrow? Sunday?
Sunday.
The Pistons Lakers. Oh man,
get tuned in for that.
We're gonna talk about that in the later in the episode with our picks, though, our game picks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Jay. All right, Jay. So let's move on to our next up or down, Jay. Since we've seen Brandon Ingram return, he's helped the Pelicans to get, actually get 5 wins, and they're actually right now on a 2-game winning streak. And now I know we just saw the recent news of Zion be able to clear to return to practice. We put that on our Instagram. So if you're not following our Instagram, make sure you follow that. Quick plug. But anyway,
yes, sir.
So now that we have Zion returning possibly soon, Jay, do you think the Pelicans are going to be able to make up for this lost time and sneak inch into that 10th seed for that last play-in spot by the end of the season?
Yeah, let me pull it up because I don't see it. I mean, I think right now just the Pelicans are just slumping. And I mean, we talked about this. I think this was a question before. They're 5-16 right now, 5 games out. There's a chance. If you're asking me if there's a chance, there is a slight chance. I mean, they got a huge win last night on that buzzer beater for Devontae Graham. Huge win, I might add, against the Jazz. Like that's a huge, just confidence boosting win. Anytime you can beat a top team in the league like the Jazz. So who knows? They could go on a roll here, especially knowing in the back of their mind, knowing a guy like Zion is coming back and, their leader, their best player, let's call it what it is. No disrespect to Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas, but having him back, knowing that confidence in the back of their mind, like we're gonna get our guy back soon. They could go on a roll here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a little win streak. But making it to that, they have a chance. They have a chance.
Okay.
But I feel like they're gonna end in the 11th, like I predicted earlier, the 11th seed or 12th seed in that range.
Okay. All right.
But how are you feeling about it?
I can't even blame you, Jay, because I'm right there with you, man. I think that, you know, with BI and with BI and Zion, they'll be able to, you know, they'll be able to get some games, man. But I think that ultimately, I don't know if they'll really be able to beat out, you know, the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves right now are sitting in 10th. I definitely think that they should be able to beat out the Kings. But then again, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the Kings. I feel like both Pelicans and the Kings have a decent roster, and they both should be higher than where they are. So, I mean, it's just to see how management is doing over there in New Orleans, and it doesn't look like they're doing too good, Jay. So I'm right there with you, my brother.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that Zion is going to be on for a fact he's going to be on a minutes restriction when he comes back. Plus his injury, his foot fracture, his injury is very easy to re-aggravate. So even when he comes back, we don't know which game shape there's going to be that residual rust. He's going to have to shake back, getting in the rhythm of the game. So it's going to take a while just for them to get cohesion. He's never played with Devontae Graham before. He's never played with Valanciunas before. So just that whole mix, like what is the paint going to look like? They just got a lot of things to work out. So I don't even, it's going to take a while to just even work all those things out. So by the time they figure that out, man, it's going to be too far in the season. So definitely not, to answer your question, now that I think about that as we speak more about it, Jay. So no, I'm down on that.
Absolutely. My boy Jay came on fire for that question. I love it, man. I'm right there with you, Jay. Down on that, man. All right, Jay. So then let's get to our last up or down. All right. So this one has a little bit of a twist, Jay. So I'm gonna need you to think a little bit. Okay. So there's two tiers. There's tier 1 and tier 2. Okay. You don't need to put crazy thought and crazy stats into this, but just real quick, if you can, and you don't even need to tell me, can you come up with 3 to 4 players to put in tier 1? And that's like the top of the cream, you know, the top of the league. And then tier 2 is, you know, they're not there yet. Okay. So, and do you need some time to think about that? Or you already think you got like 3 to 4 players in each tier?
So how many about like round and like each tier?
Okay, so give me three players in each tier. 3 players.
Okay. 3 players in each tier. Top 3 players in each tier.
3 players in each tier.
Oh, that's tough. Okay. I'm gonna go top tier. I got Steph, Bron, KD, and my top tier. Next tier I got Giannis, AD. I feel like I'm gonna forget someone on this last one. Right now, Paul George. Right now, PG. That's my next tier. Who you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I have a question based on that. So is Donovan Mitchell in either tier 1 or 2? I mean, probably not 1. Does he get into 2?
No. He's not there for me.
Okay.
No, he's not. He's not. And I feel like Joker has a definitely tier 2. Like I feel like if it was 4, if you gave me 4, I'd put Giannis in tier 1, and then Joker would be in tier 2.
Okay, but I needed to get your opinion on that, Jay, because I was going back and forth with Junior on that for a while. I'm like, is Donovan Mitchell really a top tier guy? And then just a quick follow up: is he higher than D Book is in those tiers? If you were to start placing Donovan Mitchell in there.
Nah, I can't. For right now, I can't. I think D Book. I'm gonna put D Book ahead of him, just because he's brought his team to the finals, man. However you want to look at it, whatever road they got there.
Absolutely.
Can't say the same for D Mitch. And that was what I said yesterday too in response to your Ja Morant, Trae Young. Ja's playing at an extremely high level. Trae Young's brought his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's why I got to give Trae the nod. And he just has that track record of proven success longer, a lot more longevity than Ja, but similar kind of stories, but not the same players, obviously.
Absolutely. Okay, Jay. I definitely needed to get your opinion on that. Check the weather, man. But all right, Jay. All right. So So let's keep it pushing. You know, that finishes our up and down game. So Jay, I have a little quick game. I just want to, you know, it's more of a segment I want to play with you. Is who is saying no? So I have some, you know, we're NBA podcast, so we got to talk about Ben Simmons and his little trade saga that's going on. Unfortunately, we have to talk about it for real, huh, brother.
Man.
So unfortunately, we got just move on, huh?
Yeah,
man. So just real quick, then Jay. You know, a segment that we have here is who is saying no. So I have a couple of players here listed and from other teams, and this would be a Ben Simmons trade, and just straight up for Ben Simmons for this player, and then we can figure out, you know, all of the pieces later. But you let me know if the Daryl Morey and the Sixers are saying no, or if the other team, the GM, is saying no. Okay.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I asked this one to Jenner on the bonus episode. This is a tough one. I need to get your opinion on this one. You give me my problem, I'll give you your problem. Kyrie Irving for Ben Simmons. Who's saying no?
Okay. I would say right now the Sixers are saying no. I mean, number one, the fact that Kyrie's not vaccinated. I mean, I don't know if Philadelphia has. I don't know if they have those restrictions, but there's certain places he can't play. He's had all that. They both had drama, so there's no real winner on that side of things. Both players have their baggage that they're bringing with them. But if you look at it, I think Kyrie's just has more just baggage. Like overall, just he's bringing more of a headache. I don't even know how he'd fit with that team. You bring in a guy like Ben Simmons, regardless of the drama, I think he's a better fit for what Brooklyn might need. Just a playmaker, unselfish player who doesn't really look to shoot. You got your shooters around you. You got Joe Harris. You got James Harden. You got KD. We know he can play without the ball. Harden has shown that he's starting to be able to play without the ball, but he's just another playmaker as well. And you just add another defender to that group. So I think if I'm Brooklyn, I'm loving that deal because Kyrie's not even playing for them. Obviously Sixers he isn't, but you don't know when he'll be able to. But that's my answer on that. Okay. No Daryl Morey. Yes. Sean Marks, I believe it is. Yeah, Sean Marks.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. How about this next player, Jay? Lonzo Ball. Who's saying no?
Bull's saying no. Bull's saying no. I mean, Lonzo, and I was actually talking to my boy Oko, shout out friend of the pod Oko, about Lonzo Ball, and we were discussing Lonzo Ball is the prototypical what you want out of a point guard, a non-scoring point guard in the NBA. He is the prototype point guard, unselfish, knocks down open shots, has continually improved his shot. A standstill knockdown shooter, unselfish, great defender, long, lengthy, about 6'5". He's what you want. Like he's what you want. And on the Philly side of things, you're bringing in a non-shooter that doesn't really fit what you have with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, who has extended his range and shown his ability to shoot a little better. He's shooting at a higher clip, but he's still not the shooter that you want to be paired with Ben Simmons. So if you are bringing in another good defender, but you already have that Alonzo. So what do you need that for? So no, if I'm the Bulls, no, absolutely not.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Next player right here we got is Robert Covington. Are you doing that?
Robert Covington. If I'm the Sixers, if I'm the Blazers, absolutely, I'm doing that. I think that you're bringing in Ben, where number one, when I see Robert Covington, if he's not hitting threes, I think he's not the defender that he was when he came in. And I think if a team runs him off the line, man, he just lost the step. He's not really giving you anything. Like when he's going downhill, he just doesn't. He's not the same player that he was. Even on Philly, on Minnesota, he's just slowly and gradually regressed each season. It's like he's just becoming worse and worse, unfortunately. Respectfully, I say that. He ain't the same player. Obviously, he's an NBA level player, but Rocco ain't the player he used to be. And we're seeing that averaging 6 points, not even shooting it at the level he's shot it at in the past. But if you're the Blazers, They love that. I think Philly's already had Rocco too, so I didn't want him again.
They don't want that. They don't want that
Yeah,
bum.
yeah.
All right, Jay. So how about Malcolm Brogdon? Who is saying no? Ben Simmons and Malcolm Brogdon.
Pacers easily. I think
Wow.
Pacers. Yeah, I think I already see. I don't really know how I feel about Sabonis and Miles Turner fitting, and then you add Ben Simmons into that mix. I think just not enough shooting is what I see if I'm the Pacers, and then if you're the Sixers, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful backcourt to have Seth Curry and Malcolm Brogdon, if in case you don't have to give them up. But I will say this: the emergence of Tyrese Maxey and you bring in Malcolm Brogdon, I don't know. I think I've seen enough flashes and enough signs that Tyrese Maxey is going to be a really good player in the league. So I'm a little hesitant if I'm the Sixers as well.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about somebody that you're very familiar with. That guy over there in the six, Fred VanVleet. What you doing, man? Fred VanVleet for Ben Simmons.
Masai Majuri's no, he's I don't even know if he's even picking up that call. I think there was a time when he was considering that, but at this point I think it's a no. Philly shot any chance they had of getting a Fred VanVleet, just with all this nonsense and drama that's proceeded to take on, and we're about over a month into the season and they still haven't found a home for him. And it's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Absolutely,
Free Ben.
Jay.
Free Ben.
Free Ben, man. Free Ben. Get Ben out of there, man.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. So last two players. Kristaps Porzingis. Are you doing that if you are Mark Cuban?
No.
Wow.
Think
really?
I think no. I think Kristaps, what are you seeing? And I was a huge doubter of him, but I think when he's playing at his best, and we've seen that most recently, he's been on a tear and the Mavericks are doing great. He was the second option that they needed. And that was our biggest concern when we talked Mavericks with our guy, Big Shot Pod over there. We said that was our concern. Who is their second option? Kristaps is looking at that guy they envisioned when they brought him over from New York. So if I'm the Mavericks and I'm Cuban, no. Bringing in Ben Simmons, another non-shooter, man. No, I'm not doing that. Morey, yeah, I think even if you're Morey,
it doesn't make the most sense.
What does it make the most sense? You already got Tobias Harris at your 4, and you got Joel. So what do you need really Kristaps for? Unless it's a 3-team deal, obviously. That's a different story. Yeah, but
all right. So last player here, Jay, someone that you also know very well. And I've heard a lot of rumors for this one. Andrew Wiggins for Ben Simmons. Who is saying no?
Bob Myers ain't even taking that call, man. No way. Just the level. You're 17-2 right now, man. There's really nothing. If it ain't broke, why you ain't need to fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go ahead.
Don't. Yeah, man. Yeah. But I digress, man. I think it just goes without saying. Like, I think he would be a good addition to Philly too, because you add him into that mix. You already got Tyrese Maxey, who looks like a guard of the future there for him. But no, I think he wouldn't be a great fit on the Warriors either. So no.
Yeah, man, I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Jay. All right, man. So I just wanted to add in, that segment. People will start hating on us if we didn't talk about Ben Simmons. So we had to talk about a little bit about Ben, man. But all right, Jay. So let's keep it pushing, Jay. And let's talk about some of the games. Some like how you said at the beginning of the pod, man. We had some great games to see this past week. I'll kick it off here with one of my favorite games that I saw, man, was Vooch's return, man. The Bulls versus the Magic. The Bulls are able to pull it off. 123-88, man. Vooch had 16 points, 8 rebounds. But what I really wanted to point out here, man, is that the Bulls are really winning as a team. And I know it's like, oh, of course they're playing team. The team sport, but no, what I'm talking about as a basketball player. It is not a one-man wrecking crew out there. It is multiple players really putting up a lot of points. In the last 7 games, 5 or more players on the Bulls roster have scored double digits or more in this last game. DeMar put 23, Kobe White put 20, Zach LaVine put 21, Vooch put 16, Lonzo put 13, Derek Jones Jr. put 11. Man, so it's just an impressive performance for the Bulls. And I've been saying it, Jay. I've been riding high on the Bulls all season, Jay, and I'm still up there, man. They are my favorites out the East. They are my favorites, Jay. I know it sounds crazy, but I got him as my favorites. But is there anything you want to touch on in that game, Jay?
No, I mean, I think you covered it all. It's nice to see. I mean, just the Bulls are playing at an extremely high level. I'm still concerned about the Bulls and their rim protection. That is the only reason why I just don't see the Bulls making it out of the East and being really a true contender until they can address that problem. But I think just in terms of the rest of their roster, they're great. I just think the loss of Patrick Williams is going to hurt them more than I originally, and we talked about in the past, hurting them. And so, yeah, that's all the thoughts I got on that game.
All right, Jay. All right. So what games did intrigued your eye in this past week, Jay?
Yeah, the first game that I had highlighted here was that last night's game between the Charlotte Hornets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, the team that's coming in on a 5-game winning streak, knocking off the Heat, the Grizzlies in that span too. 2 great teams as well as the Kings, and then their last loss had come to a 3-point loss to the Suns. So, I mean, playing a team who's playing really, really good ball coming into that game. And then they just got taken it too by the Charlotte Hornets on the back of your guy, Kelly Oubre, another Clutch Talk fantasy team member, just putting in work last night, 10 for 17 from the field. The main thing that, I mean, anytime a team shoots 23 from 40 from the 3-point line, makes 23s at home, you have no chance of beating. And that's what the Hornets did. It just took it to the Timberwolves on their home floor. The Hornets on their own home court at the Spectrum Center. And I just think it was just a dominant performance, the type of thing you need to do, protect home court. Shooting 45% from the field, 55% from the field, 57%, John, 57% from the 3-point line.
That's
come
crazy.
On, man.
Well,
anytime that you're shooting, your 3-point percentage is higher than your field goal percentage, you're doing something right, and the other team has no chance of winning. And it was just a lot of just a balanced attack. And you look down the line for the Hornets. They had, They had six players, 7 players in double figures. It's just hard to beat. A great performance overall. And you love to see it from Lonzo, who, I don't care what you want to call it. Anytime that you got a 1-2 matchup, a 1 and 3 matchup, LaMelo believes that he should have been drafted number 1.
That's a great game, Jay. Talk to me.
But Jay, it would be wrong. It would be wrong for me. It would be wrong to our fans, if we didn't talk about the triple overtime Kings rivalry game. Come on, like anyone in the state of California knows the Kings and Lakers have a rich past, man, dating back to the 2001 playoffs, I believe. Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Shaq, Kobe. Rivalry, man.
Quick stat on that rivalry, Jay. Quick stat.
Yeah.
Last night at the game, the Lakers, they set aside the Lakers have beat the Kings more than any other team that they beat in the NBA. So classic rivalry, just been going on for years, man.
Classic rivalry. A team. I mean, at what point is a rivalry not a rivalry if you just beat the team every time you play them? But anyway, we won't get into that.
Not this time, though.
Yeah, not this time. And it was funny because in that game, I was watching it and I was just like, does any team want to win? I was looking around. I was like, man, does any team really want to win? Like, it was just a bad, like, what I believe it was. What was it, 43-43 at the end of the first half?
Yes,
I
I
think yeah, it
believe.
was 43 to 43. I mean, that's a low scoring game. And to the Kings' credit, I mean, to anytime you could hold a high powered team like the Lakers to 43 points and a half, like you're doing something right. And then I look to let's just talk about real quick what we saw in the overtime game. Number one, saw the dominance of LeBron, in that overtime, doing what he does, getting loose. You saw them going to him in isolation. But to Marvin Bagley's credit, there was a few times where he had a few good stops on him that led them and sort of weathered the storm there, the lust storm we want, if you want to call it, when he just looked like no one was stopping him in isolation. LeBron's one of the probably the best in the game with his back to the basket, his padded and fadeaway shot. There's no way you can defend that. And Bagley did his best part. But my story is, Jay, your guy, De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield
Wow.
coming through in that overtime. And that's huge, especially for a young team like the Kings on the road. Something you want to do to build confidence, Jay. But the Lakers, man, the expert yourself, real quick, what did you see in that game, Jay? And tell me about why you think the Lakers kind of bottled that at the end, if you want to call it, or did the Kings really win that? What did you see in that game?
And not to take nothing away from the Kings, the Kings were definitely out there, hooping, doing their thing. Shout out, like you said, Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox, man. But this was just a tale of what we've been saying all season, man. The Lakers getting extremely complacent, the Lakers getting extremely comfortable out there, and just defensive breakdowns, just missing rotations every single time down court. I do, I want to give LeBron his roses. As you know, I'm the number one guy to give LeBron his roses, but I need to be real and honest and say that I saw a lot of deferring to Russell Westbrook and late in the game. I don't know if it's because LeBron is getting a bit older. I don't know if he's getting a bit more tired, but I didn't see that LeBron that we saw back. We grew up seeing that. Give me the ball. I'm going to score. I'm going to get a bucket right here. I saw a lot of deferring, a lot of LeBron standing in the corner as Russell Westbrook dribbles the shot clock out, man, or even dribbles the game clock out. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. Is I'm a bit concerned about LeBron, and is the age really starting to really get to him? Because we say this for the past 3 to 4 years. Everyone's like, oh, the age starting to get to LeBron, and then all of a sudden LeBron just turns it up to a whole different level. But man, I'm genuinely starting to have some serious concerns as if the age is getting to him, because I saw a bit of deferring from LeBron James, man. But just to I guess give Westbrook his few roses that he deserves, man. I mean, he actually had a good game, man. He had 29 points. He 29 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, shot 50% from the 3-point line, which for Russell Westbrook, you're extremely happy. And shot 55% from the field, man. So for as far as Westbrook's performance, I know that people who watch basketball know, okay, Westbrook put a lot of numbers, but on what efficiency? So for him to be able to do it, half the shots that he's shooting, he's hitting, I'll definitely take that, man. But I mean, Jay, this is not to sound like a broken track record, but the defense. And like how we said, a couple episodes ago, it was the tail of the third quarter. They absolutely let it go in the third quarter, man. Just fumbled it. But not to take nothing away from Buddy. Buddy Hield was out there hitting some crazy shots late in the game.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, the whole thing is with what I'm seeing from the Lakers is just as I had thought before. My concern with them was the continuity, who would be taking those shots at the end, and we're starting to see. I feel like they don't have a real true identity, what they're doing, late game situations, what they need, and you just addressed that perfectly, Jay. So until they figure that out, I think they're going to continue to struggle, even against teams that they should be beating, such as the Kings.
And going to overtime with the Pacers, Kings. That's
going. Yeah, man. That's just shouldn't be happening, man. That shouldn't be happening.
So, all right, Jay. So moving on to the next game, Jay. We have the game that I was so excited to watch. I was over here sitting down, setting on my league pass and kicking my feet up, getting popcorn ready. And then something so tragic happened. We saw the Hawks versus Grizzlies game. Hawks pulled it out 132-100. And I was, like I said, so excited to see Ja versus Trey. As a matter of fact, we even put it on our Instagram and on our Twitter. Another reason why the fans need to follow our Instagram. Another reason why you need to follow our Twitter, because we put in polls over there. We'd be talking to the fans. And we said, who would you rather have to start your team, Ja Morant or Trey Young? Jay, he like how you said, he gave his opinion. He said Trey Young is a proven winner. He's a proven winner. He's taking his team further, so you can't take it away from him. But like we were saying, tragic game because late in the first, we see Ja Morant sprain his left knee. Man, that really hurt to see. And from me, from what I saw out of that game, Jay, was I just saw the Grizzlies. They lost life after losing Ja Morant. And I get it. When you lose your star player, you kind of like are in shock and in shambles, but you can't let that affect you for the rest of the game. You got to somebody's got to be able to step up and pick it up. And I didn't see it from nobody, man. They got outscored every single quarter, but really, I really want to touch on that third quarter, but they got outscored 43-18. That's just how you let go of games, man. And to me, it just looked like they had no identity. Nobody stepped up as that number one guy, as no one on the team scored more than 16 points. But I have a question to you, Jay. After seeing that deflating effort out of the Grizzlies, I know first thought in mind is Triple J, but if you had to bet your money, you had all the life savings that you have up, you had to bet your money on who's going to be that number one guy while Ja is out. Would it be Triple J or would it be somebody else?
I think in order for the Blazers to be Blazers for the Grizzlies to be successful, man, it's got to be Triple J, man. It just really it's got to be Triple J. He's the guy that they put all the money into. He's the second option when Ja Morant's even there, so it's got to be Triple J. And a quick side note on this, Jay. I had bought tickets actually. I see Ja Morant coming into Toronto to play the Raptors on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, man. I'm hyped. I look on Ticketmaster, find a great deal to go to the game. I'm ready. How did they get tickets to the game? That's me. I'm Jay. I'm ready to go to the game, man. Watching this Hawks game. And Ja Morant goes down. Number one, obviously, you never want to see a player go down. But the player that you're going to see against the Raptors, man, Jay, I'm hurt. I'm double hurt by it. The same day that I get the tickets, of course, he goes down, man. But I hope Ja's back, bro. But yeah, I just thought I'd give that little side.
That was a great side. And for the fans, come on, guys, go in the comments. Prayers up for Ja, but prayers up for Jay Hill too, man. Come on, my boy was juiced to go, and then come on, man.
Yeah, no, I'd be good though. I just really want to see Ja play live though, but in due time, I guess. In due time.
Yeah,
Jay. Yeah. But I'm still gonna go to the game anyway, just to see. You can never miss some live NBA action though.
Facts, brother.
Never pass up on the opportunity.
So just to close out real quick on this game, just switch to the other side of things and talk a little bit about the Hawks. We definitely saw an impressive performance all around. Trey Young, 31 points, 10 assists, shot 75% both from the 3-point line and from the field, which is extremely impressive. Clint Capella, out there doing work, 23 and 17. John Collins, 21 points. Every time I see Clint Capella doing numbers, I'm like, man, the Hawks got blessed with Clint Capella. Like the Rockets basically gave him up like for nothing, and he's just been such a great fit. But that's not even my question. My question to you, brother, is, we see the Hawks on a 7-game winning streak now, and surprisingly, without one of their best perimeter defenders in DeAndre Hunter. We talked about that a couple of episodes ago, how DeAndre Hunter was out with his wrist injury. And I feel like the biggest reason that we've seen this 7-game winning streak is not only, the play of John Collins, Trey Young, and Klink, but really the emerging roles of Cam Reddish and Kevin Huerter. They have really stepped up and really took their game to a whole new level. I know we already saw a whole new level last year in the playoffs, but right now we're seeing them do things that we just haven't seen them do, man. And my question to you, brother, is when you have all three healthy, in Cam Reddish, in Cam Reddish, Kevin Huerter, and DeAndre Huerter, if you got them all three healthy, who are you starting at that 3? Are you still going to DeAndre Hunter, or are you trying to go with a different option?
I feel like you still give it to DeAndre Hunter, but I mean at the same time, I think it's great to have those options off the bench. And going back to that about the Hawks, no, I knew the Hawks would be fine, and we had talked about it. I knew the Hawks would be fine because of that depth, that wing depth. I think they're one of the deepest teams in the East, maybe even the league for that matter, and the options that they have to go with. And I think that's why they've been so successful with just a lot of the same theme of the next man up mentality, having those guys who are ready to step in, who believe that they should be the guy on a given night is huge. To have that competition, to be pushing each other and being a star in their role. And that's exactly what the Hawks have and why they're on this 7-game tear.
Wow, man. Jay, for those of you guys that are new Clutch Talk listeners, Jay Hill's been on the Hawks for a long time, y'all. He's been calling it. He's been calling it.
I've been rocking with the Hawks for a minute, man. I've been flying with the Hawks.
I've been flying.
Shout out my guy Kai. Shout out my guy Kai. And Kai knows if he's listening, or just to our fans, like I was the biggest Trae Young doubter, especially outside of the draft. I was like, Luka for sure, the better player out of the two. And now I'm a believer, man. Now I believe he can lead that team. And I just think the Hawks are a great team. And I think they're going to be doing numbers and making noise in the playoffs again this year. So,
well, man, yeah. I can't wait to see
I'm
it.
Surprised.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. So let's move on, Jay, to one of our favorite segments here. Not, our Clutch Talk Player of the Week. I got my player loaded up here and ready. You got your player ready, Jay?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take this first, though. Actually, okay. No, I could just say right now, and it's the best player on a team who's been putting in work. That's D-Book. I got my book. I got my book, I got my book for D-Book because he's been putting in work for the Suns, in these past games, 230 pieces, 23 against the Spurs. Just putting in work, exactly what D-Book, was doing in the playoffs and why we had such high praise for him in those playoffs last year, saying he's the best player in the playoffs, right, Jay? And we were discrediting Giannis at that point too. But no, yeah, I think D-Book's been playing great. Exactly part of the reason, a huge part of the reason, I should say, why the Suns are been so successful and been on this win streak. So, man, shout out D-Book. That's my Clutch Talk Player of the Week. But who you got, Jay?
Okay, I gotta go with somebody else, man. I've been loving to see him do it good because so many people have been hating on him from the day he got drafted. He got booed by his own team, and that's Kristaps Porzingis, man. I'm so happy to see him doing good. In the last 10 games is 25 points per game, 25 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, shooting 93% from the free throw line, 51% from the field, and 37% from 3. And really another reason why I have him there is because these aren't empty stats, man. He's been leading the Mavs to actual important wins. 9 of the last 11 games that they've played, they won 9 of the last 11 games that they played. The 2 losses have been to the scorching hot Phoenix Suns. It's funny, your player, Devin Booker. So maybe D-Book really is a Clutch Talk Player of the Week, man. And what's up?
Hey, Jay, just real quick, not sorry to interrupt you, but how many games of those, just for our listeners, how many games of those were without Luka, like that he's putting up those numbers? Because I know Luka was missing in some of those games.
Luka was missing 6 of those games. So,
jeez, hey, that's big. That's big for KP. That's exactly what they needed.
That's exactly what they need. They need a player to step up in Luka's presence. When Luka's not there. I like Jalen Brunson, but unfortunately, I think Jalen Brunson is going to be the option to work out long term. But if KP can get back to his New York days, the Mavericks are looking scary again, man. If you got that 2-man team with Luka and KP, the Mavs are looking scary. But all right, man. Yeah. All right, Jay. So let's go ahead and transition, Jay, to our last segment here. And I know this is more of a little improv thing. Thanksgiving just passed. Happy Thanksgiving, my brother. And
yes,
Christmas.
Sir, you too, bro.
We got Christmas coming up, and this is just time to what, be thankful, be grateful, and just be happy for what we have. So real quick, Jay, we don't got to get crazy depth into it, but let's do a quick runoff real quick of all the NBA teams and something that they should be thankful for. So I got them here listed in alphabetical order. I'll say the name. You could go ahead and tell me one thing or one player or whatever that thing that they should be thankful for, and I'll go ahead and follow you right behind. Is that cool with you?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it, Jay. So our first team that we got is the Atlanta Hawks.
Ice Tray.
Ice Tray. Yeah. Ice Tray. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. Yeah. You got to be thankful to get
I had that like A ready. I knew it was a Hawks, so I was like, Ice Tray. All right, but yeah.
All right, Jay. Second team we got is the Boston Celtics.
I would say Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum. Okay. I would say just they have choices. They have a lot of trade assets. They can decide to trade Jason Tatum or trade Jaylen Brown, or they can just say, we're just going to force it and try to make this work. And no matter what, man, I think it's better to have choices than to be forced to do something you don't want. So I think for them to be able to do that is a grateful, something they should be grateful for. Next team we have is the Brooklyn Nets.
You know who
he is. You know who he is.
Kevin Durant. Yeah, no, exactly. For sure. Yeah, Katie.
All right, next team we got is the Charlotte Hornets.
I think just that young uprising talent they got, led by LaMelo.
I have young talent, but I mean, yes, it's led by LaMelo, but I have especially Miles Bridges because he's just broken out into a star this year, man. Broken out into a star.
Can't argue with that.
So next team we have is the Chicago Bulls.
Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, that 1-2 punch. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I have right here that this team actually worked out, man, because on paper and actual fit is two different things. And I know some people had some questions about how they would fit, and they're doing it, man. I believe the number 3 seed in the East. So, okay. So let's keep it pushing, Jay. What about the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Evan Mobley, they hit it. That looks like they hit home run in the draft. And then, just Evan Mobley, I think, is what they got to be thankful for right now.
Evan Mobley getting a player like that, man. Absolutely. All right. Dallas Mavericks.
Luka, and the resurgence maybe of KP. I think that's huge.
Luka, yeah. Get
return on that investment.
Facts.
Return on that investment, man. All
right. Denver Nuggets, Jay.
The Joker.
Yes, I have that too, but I also have that injuries don't last forever. So that's one thing you can be thankful for.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. What about the Detroit Pistons? Detroit.
I think Dwayne Casey. I think he's a great coach, defensive-minded coach, and I think he's going to develop those players though. There.
Okay, I like that. I have the fact that they were able to land a player like Cade Cunningham. I know it's been short amount of time, but I really like Cade. He really reminds me of Luka. There's a little bit of everything out there. But all right, let's keep it pushing then, Jay. Next team we got is the Golden State Warriors.
SC 30 for 30. And just being, I never thought they left, but being back. I think getting Clay back, getting Clay back, I think they should be thankful for that. He's less than a month away playing basketball, man. That's something to be thankful for.
Okay.
After 2 years.
I got right here. I got Jordan Poole's emergence, man, because we've known he was going to be good, but I don't think a lot of people knew he was going to be this good and be able to sustain a team when the star player's out, when our star player's on the bench, man. I think that's one of the biggest things for them to be able to be thankful for, man. But all right.
Hey, yeah, they got a lot of things to be thankful for in the Bay right now.
There's a lot going right now, man. All right, so let's keep pushing, Jay. So the Houston Rockets. The season's gonna end eventually. When you get to the bottom, you can't go any more down.
Alperen Sengun, man. I feel like honestly, like Jalen Green's gonna pick it up, but I feel like Alperen Sengun was a steal for them. That's what I think. I think that he's gonna be great player in the league. I think he's gonna be a great player. So.
Absolutely. I got their young talent, and then I just got that, man. When you get to the bottom, you can't go any more down, man. So
True.
All right. Next thing we got is the Indiana Pacers.
Indiana Pacers. I think Rick Carlisle. I think he's a championship winning coach. Bringing him in, I think it's only going to be. They got it to a slow start, but we've seen them starting to play a little better here. So I got Rick Carlisle getting them in the right places to win.
Absolutely, man. I got Rick Carlisle too, because the Pacers, as you've seen the last couple of years, has been struggling, and if it's not players, then it has to be the coach. So getting a coach in there is great. Yeah. Next team we got is the Los Angeles Clippers.
PG-13, man. I think PG-13. I think they got to be thankful for him, man. He's been putting in work this season.
Been holding it down. All right, me too, Jay. Los Angeles Lakers.
LeBron, man. LeBron and AD just hold. I think as far as they go is going to be those two. So I think they got to be thankful for them having Absolutely. One of the greatest players a big ever play, and then one of the greatest big men of this generation to play. So.
Absolutely, man. I have right here that they have LeBron James to be a point guard, and when Russell Westbrook starts to play like that, man. So, all right. So next thing we have is the Memphis Grizzlies. Who you got?
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant, man. That's a diamond in the rough right there.
Yeah.
Miami Heat.
I think just the Grizzly veterans, the poised veterans of that team, that mix of toughness and skill. They got to be thankful for that, man.
I like that. Okay, I went with Tyler Hero, man, because just like the Warriors, just an unexpected jump, man. Like we knew Tyler Hero was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be, top 3 of 6 man of the year, man. But all right, Bucks. That's hilarious. Giannis. Come on, I said it. Yeah. Damn. Bucks. All right. So next team we got is Minnesota. You bless me, Jay. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I have right here Anthony Edwards because he is just emerging to be a star, dog. Day by day. Bless you, my dog.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
And then the next team we got is the Pelicans.
Willie Green.
I
mean, Pelicans. I think getting out Zion's playing. The Zion's doing basketball activities actually.
At least he has a timetable.
Yeah, he's got a timetable. It's gonna be great for the league seeing Zion back playing, man. All jokes aside about his weight stuff, like I want to see him back playing basketball, man.
Facts. All right, Jay. The New York Knicks.
New York Knicks, just the resurgence of New York basketball, man. Facts. They needed that. The league needed that. It's nice seeing them being competitive, and actually having something to play for, because I think the league is better for it. So.
Facts. That's the mecca of basketball, man. We got it. Yeah. New York's rocking, basketball's rocking. All right, Jay. Another team that's not rocking. Oklahoma City Thunder.
Assets. they got all the assets in the world, man.
They got all the assets.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. Orlando Magic.
That young talent too. Cole Anthony. Shout out Everyday Magic. He called it. But I think they got a lot to be happy with their young talent that's emerging. Franz Wagner. They're looking up there.
I'm right there with you. Young talent, man. Boy, let's keep it pushing. Let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers.
Philly, Tyrese Maxey. I think you already knew what you're getting from Joel, but the emergence of Tyrese Maxey, huge, big time.
I'm right there with you, man. I just have the emergence of all the guards, man, because we didn't know what they were gonna look like without losing a player like Ben Simmons, man. But all right, let's keep it pushing. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns having the win streak they're on, being thankful for that, and being just still at the top of the league is huge for them. Continued success. Thankful for that.
Absolutely. You got to be thankful for that win streak. Not every game is just one, so some luck over there. But all right, let's next team is the Portland Trailblazers.
Dame time.
Dame time.
Dame time.
Yeah. I have Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard's loyalty. He's keeping them afloat. He's keeping them relevant.
For sure.
All right. Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings, a new coaching change.
Facts.
Alvin Gentry, Luke Walton's finally gone, man. They regime change. Yeah, that's what they got to be thankful for.
Yeah, I got to be thankful for Luke being gone. I agree. San Antonio Spurs.
Greg Popovich, man, the GOAT, the
Man,
legend, best coach of all time, in my opinion. Greg Popovich, man.
Greg Popovich, man. All right, Jay. What about the six over there? This Toronto Raptors.
Scotty Barnes, man,
Yes,
looking like
sir.
the rookie of the year right now. Just especially with Evan Mobley out right now. He's looking like the best rookie in the class. So Scotty Barnes looking like a steal at 4.
They got to be thankful for Scotty, but they also got to thank for their scouting team. Whoever's doing the scouting did a great job, because I know that all of the world, even me, was like, you didn't take Jalen Suggs, and then now
they definitely got a
this.
type though. They definitely got a type. They like long, lengthy, athletic players though. That's what Toronto loves, man. So
Man, all right, Jay.
yeah,
What
and it works.
last two teams? We got the Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz continued success as well. They got a great coach with Ken Snyder, so that's what. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I got just Rudy Gobert's defensive presence. Shit's insane. He just blocks everything. Last team, Jay, is the Washington Wizards.
Wes Unseld playing relevant basketball, being actually competitive, man, huge. Shout out DC.
Absolutely. That's huge, Jay, because not only does they're able to do good, but now you're able to entice Bradley Beal to stay. Even if you don't make it far, you're like, but look, Brad, we can be good. We can do it. So I think that's great all around, man. But there you have it, everybody. That was all 30 teams. Just something real quick to each team to be thankful for. All right, real quick, Jay. Right before we check off here, we got to do our games and who you think is going to win picks. Again, like how you said, today is Saturday, November 27th. These are for Sunday, November 28th. First game of the day, we got the Warriors versus the Clippers.
I got the Warriors winning that one. I think Steph needs to break his curse of the Staples Center. I believe that. I think it's in state. I think it's in LA, but I think I got the Warriors in that.
I got the Warriors in that too, man. Steph needs to break it before it becomes crypto.com.
Yeah, man.
All right, next team we got is the Bucks versus the Pacers.
I got the Bucks in that. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, yes, sir.
Yeah,
next team is the Toronto Raptors versus the Celtics.
Toronto Raptors versus the Celtics. I got the Raptors in that. I think that it's a must win. They're back back in Toronto. They got to get things. They play better at home too. So I got the Raps.
Yeah, I got the Raps on that one too. Next team we got is the Grizzlies versus the Kings.
Damn. I got man. I got the Kings in that. I think they're gonna go back to back. Grizzlies are gonna be without their leader in Ja, and I think that's gonna hurt them a lot. So I got the Kings in that.
Facts. I'm right there with you, man. I think that the Grizzlies are still gonna be suffocating, looking for air without Ja, and so I got the Kings on that one. And then the WWE Royal Rumble of the night, Jay. The main event, Jay. Detroit Pistons versus the Lakers. Who do you got on that one?
After 2 or 3 ejections, no, I don't think there'll be any ejections tomorrow. But I got the Lakers in that one. But I think it'll be closer than a lot of people expect. I think that the Pistons are going to be up for that one and ready. And Isaiah Stewart, especially, I think he's going to have a big game tomorrow.
Absolutely, Jay. I'm right there with you. I have the Lakers pulling that one out, but I do think it is going to be closer than what most people expect, because the Lakers seem to go to the overtime with the Pacers and the Kings and those type of teams. So, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. But all right, brother. Well, if you got anything else you want to add, Jay, before we wrap up here, brother?
Nah, man. Just we appreciate the support, man. We appreciate the fan support, always listening, tuning in. Subscribe to our videos. Follow us on the gram. Follow us on Twitter. Get at us, debate. If you have any questions or concerns, or there's something you want to see in the show, let us know, man. We're always open ear, criticism, whatever it is. We're here for it, man. We appreciate y'all.
Facts. Jay said it best, man. I ain't got nothing to say, man, besides make sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter. It's going to be right here and in the description down below. For those of you guys that are on podcasts, just know it's at Clutch Talk Pod, at Clutch Talk Pod. Get at us, man, because if you didn't know, now you know. My brother, we out of here, my dog.
Peace.